Lightworker, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a treat for you. We're doing something a little bit different. Here I have with me my friend Chris, who's a performer, who's a makeup artist. He's into film, he does so many things, he's so multi-talented. And I think it was last year we've been chatting and we thought what a fabulous idea it would be for him to do my drag queen makeup while talking about spirituality and all things being a light worker, energy protection, whatever it is, whatever Chris wants to ask me. So here we are manifesting this a year later. I'm so excited to get started. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And let's get started. Chris, what are we doing today? What shall I expect?
Chaos, that's what you should expect actually. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's just an honor being here. I'm so excited!
I am so excited to get started. I've never done any drag queen makeup. Actually, once I did something for like the carnival here in Cyprus, but I never took it seriously to create a full-on transformation professionally. Okay. So that's gonna be so much fun for me.
Yeah, it's actually what kind of helped me heal. So I'm very grateful to do this.
Perfect, let's get started.
Let's get started. Well, I actually was in a really dark state as well. I wanted to take my life. Trigger warning, sometimes they do come back and I just embrace them at this point. Sometimes it's kind of hard. I go back into the patterns and all that.
The fact that you don't suppress those emotions as they come up, I think that's quite empowering.
Yeah.
Because so many people feel negative emotions and then they suppress them. And resisting them allows them to grow bigger. When you allow them to come to the surface and you have a conversation with them, that's when you can start the journey to healing them.
Yeah. That's what I'm learning now. That took me actually a while. And I do have parts of me that just want to protect me, so they want to suppress, but I have the awareness to come out of it and just be okay, yes, we're actually gonna feel this and we're gonna move it. So yeah, that's where I am now, just reparenting myself.
Yeah, think of emotions as a glass full of water, okay? Yeah. And the more you suppress the emotion, the more the water increases until it overflows. And that's the breakdown that we have. The more you acknowledge your emotions, the more you empty that cup of water of that emotion. So the more you suppress emotions, the stronger they get because they want to be heard and acknowledged. And as soon as you give them a platform to be heard and acknowledged, they lose their power. When I was in that low moment that I wanted to take my own life, I'm you know what, I'm gonna stop suppressing these thoughts. And I surrendered. And I didn't do it, of course, thankfully. But in that moment of surrender, that's when the solution that was always there for me became apparent to me. And the solution was, fuck what people think, fuck what society says, just learn to love and accept yourself. But I was resisting that solution because I was resisting my emotions. Yeah. So as soon as you embrace your emotions and you allow them to express in a safe space, and it helps having someone to support you, then that's when the healing process starts. So we blocked the eyebrows right now with glue stick, believe it or not. And now we're gonna proceed with
foundation.
My foundation.
Yes.
The darker foundation.
Yes.
I'm gonna be a dark queen.
Yeah.
We need to find out a name.
Yeah.
Don't say your ideas later. Okay. Let us know in the comments. What do you think my drag queen name should be?
So when I was texting you,
yes,
after you said, yeah, let's do it, and after I was okay, I'm ready, I experienced some major imposter syndrome, and I was oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? And what is happening? I actually became aware of it for the first time. I was oh, I'm doing it. So how did you deal with it? And how are you
when you texted me saying you had imposter syndrome, I was very conscious not to find the solution for you.
Okay.
That's why my answer was very strategic. I don't know if you realize or not.
No.
My answer was strategic. I did not say, here's how you can resolve the imposter syndrome, because I knew you would find the way. And you found it. You found the solution, you resolved it, and you're let's do it on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm great. Let me explain to you what happens with the imposter syndrome. So basically, whenever we're supposed to do something, whenever we're about to do something, that's gonna help us grow. That's gonna help us create change. It's gonna help us move forward with our life purpose, the ego, it's a part of us that says that to be safe, you have to be same, you have to be the same, not change, play it safe. That part of us rushes in with excuses to prevent us from growing. So that's what happened with you. The ego came in like, you're not ready, you're not good enough, don't have enough experience, like how are you gonna do this, how are you not gonna do this, what if people doesn't like you, what if you don't do it well, all the excuses come in, the illusory excuses that the ego brings to sabotage, to prevent us from growing. So what we have to do is identify, okay, that's what's happening, it's the ego wanting to protect me, and rather than bash on the ego, just talk to the ego and say, okay, tell me about it. Why are you afraid? What's happening there? What are the fears? What is it? Where are they coming from? When was the first time that I remember feeling that emotion? And that takes you back to the first time that fear was created. And then you start healing it. So that's all the imposter syndrome is. It's your ego wanting to protect you, and it's doing a good job. But at the same time, we need to communicate to the ego that you're ready to grow. And we also need to assure to the ego that it's safe for you to grow. So you take one step at a time. You allow yourself to visualize first. And then you take a little step. And the ego feels like, oh.
You look up.
And the ego feels like, okay, that wasn't too bad. Like, I'm still safe. So let's take more change. And the ego accepts more change. And then eventually, you keep on training the ego to accept change and not feel like something bad will happen. So that's what happened, I think, with you.
Yeah.
You worked it out.
Yeah.
No, at this stage, when opportunities come that challenge me, I'm like, bring it on.
Yeah.
Like, let me be challenged.
Yeah, that's how it's growing.
You get to enjoy it at some point. It's masochistic, but it's good masochism. Like, ooh, uncomfortable feelings. Let's move towards them. Are you doing contouring right now?
Yeah.
I love it.
So I'm doing contouring, and I'm then gonna blend it with foundation. That's how I go about it.
Okay.
When I'm around people and they just like complain and they just like, you know, keep on nagging about the same things that they can fix, but they just like never do anything about it. I don't know how to kind of like protect myself, which is what obviously what your book is going to be very helpful, and I can't wait to read it actually. How did you find this with you?
So first of all, let's define who these people are and why they're doing what they're doing.
Okay.
I lovingly call them drama queens and drama kings, who are people that they have the same issues over and over again, and they don't really care about changing.
Okay.
They just want to be heard.
Right.
And people to give them attention, and they keep on feeding off of people's attention. Now they have their own like limiting beliefs and fears and traumas behind that, of course, and they need like support. At the same time though, we're not here to support everyone. We're here to support people who are willing to be supported, who ask us to support them. Otherwise, we're just giving our light away to people who don't really want it or deserve it because they haven't asked for it. So I have a very blunt approach with drama queens and kings. I just don't deal with them anymore. Now, energetically, how do we protect ourselves? We set energetic boundaries. We cut the cords. We have energetic cords to every single person we have a relationship with. So with those people who are draining us because they're constantly complaining but never changing and never following our advice, we have energetic cords usually extending from our solar plexus chakra. So we identify that cord and we release it, we cut it. So I explain in Predictor like how to cut the cords. However, it's not just about cutting the cords. It's about identifying what within you is attracting those people in your life. Because on some level, that means your vibrational frequency is open to those people coming in and draining your energy. I've always believed that my purpose is to help others find and follow their purpose.
Okay.
It's very meta.
Yeah.
The way it works. But for a long period of time, I felt that my purpose had to be limited to something specific, just spirituality, for example, just writing books or just teaching courses. But at the same time, I'm realizing that I'm meant to do this by integrating all different aspects of myself, not just spirituality, but my acting side. That's why I'm starting drama school soon.
Yes.
Just also my singing, my pottery, doing my makeup,
Yeah.
being a performer. So I'm still following my purpose, just through a different medium. Because we are multi-dimensional people, why just limit ourselves to just one thing? That being said, I also believe we can't be everything at the same time. We can be everything we want to be, but not everything at the same time. So you do one, you master it, then you move on to something else.
Right. Okay. That's a big. Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
We're doing the eyes.
We're doing the eyes now, and I want George to just like go with what he feels like.
I want pink.
I'm also like having like issues with my mom in terms of like our relationship in general, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of me just doesn't want to resolve anything because I just feel like she's just never gonna change and like she's just gonna be like that forever. But another part of me just feels like, from what I've heard from like spiritual masters and like teachers and like people online, like they just say that it's very important to like resolve stuff so we don't come back with the same, like having to learn the same lessons basically.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true? Like what do you think?
It's more complicated than yes or no.
Okay.
So from my perspective, first of all, we choose our parents. Okay, so we have soul contracts with the people that are close to us, that we incarnate with lifetime after lifetime. So we have this soul group with, like, let's say for example, 20 souls that we choose to take different roles with in different lifetimes and have different dynamics so that we can grow together. So on some level, you and your mom, for example, you've chosen to take on this role and have this dynamic in this lifetime so you can learn a lesson. So it's not about resolving things, it's about learning the lesson. Depending what the lesson is. And I can't tell you what the lesson is. You'll find out.
Yeah, obviously. Oh my gosh.
You are finding out.
Yeah.
Sometimes the lesson is resolving things. Sometimes the lesson isn't. Sometimes the lesson is somewhere in between. Society comes with programs.
Yeah.
The world, our family, no matter where you are in the world, there are programs that we're brought into. You're supposed to be a certain way. You're supposed to go to school, study certain things, go to university, get a certain job, be a certain way, have a family, have kids. Yes, which way? Yes, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
So we all have those programs that don't really resonate with our soul's desire as to who we're supposed to be. So it's all about navigating the contrast between society's programs and our soul's desires. And sometimes navigating is deprogramming the programs, breaking away from them, and then letting our soul take over and introduce new programs. But look at us.
Yeah, we're here.
We're breaking them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing my makeup right now.
In drag as well.
In drag. You wouldn't have been able to do this 5 years ago, for example.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it 5 years ago. Community, I think, is very important when we're going through change.
Yeah.
When you have people who are like you, who can support you, who can hold the space, that makes all the difference. You find your community, you find your place, and then that gives you permission to keep on growing and to keep on changing.
Yeah.
That's why in my group, the one I have on Facebook, Your Spiritual Toolkit, it's meant to do that. It's meant to be a community, an online community, where like light workers, empaths, they can come there and find support. Because we don't all have it physically, but we can have it online. Well, I have big lips anyway, so it's gonna be
it's gonna be
even better.
Yeah.
Even bigger.
It's gonna be ready for work afterwards.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she's coming out.
She's coming out. Lulu, what do you want? You want makeup as well, darling? Lulu wants makeup. Come. Lulu wants makeup as well. You wanna be a drag? You wanna be a drag dog? how come she's not scared of me? Look at me. Look at this situation.
Now I'm gonna do the brows.
Okay.
How do you follow your body when it's like, no? Or like when it's like, actually, yeah, you need to do this. Like, how do you tell the difference between your ego and that wants to like move forward, but like in a, more ego
calculated way?
Yeah.
Or the difference between ego and intuition, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Intuition comes first and ego comes next. So your intuitive guidance will come instantly, and then the ego will come in and say, wait a minute, no, let's think about it. So in the example of us doing the makeup, your initial reaction was, yes, let's do this. And then the ego came in and like, oh, what if you fuck up? What if you're not good enough? Okay, so there's a timing component. Also, there's a certainty component. When it's intuitive guidance, it feels certain. You don't doubt it, you don't ask other people's opinions about it, you know it, and you've already followed it.
Okay.
Whereas when it's ego, you have to think about it, do pros and cons lists, like call other people and ask opinions. So there's a certainty with intuition, and there's a timing component with intuition. And also, there's also this contraction and expansiveness. When it's intuitive guidance, your body expands, like, oh, yes. When your intuition says no, you feel a contraction within your body, a contraction within your energy. Your whole body says no. When it's fear with excitement, that's the fear is just your body growing. It's your being growing.
Right.
And you're afraid of, it's your ego being afraid, not your soul. Your soul is feeling excited, your ego is like, no. When it's just fear, then maybe your ego and your soul are in alignment.
Wow, thank you for the slap in the face.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you motivate yourself on those days and you're just like, or in general?
Yes.
In general, let's say, yeah. How do you motivate yourself?
I motivate myself by reminding myself of my purpose. Because when you have a purpose, when you find your purpose, you don't need motivation because your whole body and your whole being is born to fulfill that specific purpose. So when you are unmotivated, when you haven't found a purpose, or when you think you found your purpose, but you're really following other people's purpose for you. But once you find your purpose, the motivation comes easily because it literally your whole being is like, yes, 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 yes. Like imagine if your job was to perform full time. Would you ever be unmotivated?
No.
No.
Maybe when I was tired, but like,
yes.
I would still be excited.
But you wouldn't feel like, I don't want to wake up and have to put on makeup and dress in drag and get on stage. You wouldn't say that.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So that's basically my body telling me you need to take action.
Yeah. Daily action.
Daily action. Consistent.
It doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be daily.
Do you feel like Kylie Jenner?
I love Kylie.
Yeah. What's your opinion on the Kardashians?
I love them.
Yeah?
I watch them.
Oh my god.
Obsessively. Because I like, they inspire me to push the boundary of what I can manifest.
Oh, that, yeah, if we say it that way.
Yeah, it's aspirational for me. I'm like, okay, let's shop energetically.
How do you like navigate helping yourself while helping others? Can you close your eyes?
Look, I think it's very important, especially if you're a healer or a coach or in the helping profession, to have dedicated time on a daily basis or on a weekly basis to do the work yourself. Because unless you can help yourself, you can't help anyone else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not walking your talk. So I have daily time, weekly time, monthly time that I schedule in so I can do it. But then again, it happens to me every so often that I find myself overworking myself and not taking time to just tune in and receive help and ask for help. Like yesterday, I was given a session, a breathwork session by a friend of mine who's also like a coach and a healer. And it just felt so good to have someone else leading me through something rather than me always being on the giving end. It felt good to receive.
How did you learn accepting and like letting help in? 'Cause for me, I'm learning this now. It's the first thing that I do when I'm having a hard time like help. We're starting with that instead of like facing it myself, you know. Obviously I will face it myself.
Yes.
You know, getting help.
The more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Okay.
And if you go to people who you know will support you and understand you and offer guidance, I think that also helps.
Okay.
Because many times we don't ask for help because when we asked for help in the past, we did not get it or we got judged for it. So we're traumatized and it's a trauma response not to ask for help. But when you select your people and you know that you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna get the help you need and you're gonna be heard, sometimes help is just being heard.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
I guess as a coach and like as a healer and all that, how is it like navigating that kind of like persona and that kind of like
part of myself.
yourself, yeah, with actually like being vulnerable with your friends and like, you know, just sometimes not, you know, being on the giving end.
Yeah. I create clear boundaries, and it wasn't always easy, by the way. But now I've created boundaries between my professional self and the part of me that I choose to share online, and the parts of me that I share with my friends.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, can you open your mouth?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Okay, final touches, and then I'm gonna reveal. Lulu, who am I?
Who is she?
Who am I? I become more conscious in the past 2 years that I'm way too serious, and I have this side of me that's playful, that's fun, that wants to get out there. And I just had a moment of realization. I'm like, you know what? It's not just what I do for work. There's other stuff and parts of me that I have repressed or that I haven't given so much attention to. So let me just let them out and play. And then you start doing activities that help you embrace your inner child and your inner playfulness. And then it all comes out naturally more and more, the more you feel safe with expressing that side of yourself.
We're done.
Oh.
Final step, everyone.
Oh, I feel she's coming on right now.
She is.
Who is she?
Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna dust the powder off.
It's beautiful, puffy brush.
We're done.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Reveal. I haven't seen it yet. Bring me the mirror, por favor. Who is she? Oh my God! I don't recognize her. I like the hair like this. Oh my God! Where are my eyebrows? I don't have any eyebrows. I like the lips. I like the cut. Oh, look at my nose. You've turned me into something else, like a different creature. Who is she?
Yeah.
Lightworker, thank you so much for tuning in to this fun video about dragon spirituality. Make sure to follow Chris. All his information will be in the description below. And make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.